Hi, my name is Kimbra. I am 51 years old. I was born and raised in upstate New York. I currently live in Houston, Texas. And I was diagnosed with lupus back in 1995. I had gotten sick and I got double pneumonia. And so when I was hospitalized, that's when they found the lupus antibody. Um, Being 51 and being diagnosed so early in my life, you can only imagine how the things that I've gone through. I can say that overall, I've been pretty healthy. Um, I've started having the bulk of my issues probably within the last 5 years. Um, And I think the biggest thing a biggest hurdle that I have to deal with is the neuropathy because getting the neuropathy, it has limited my walking. I have to walk with a cane. Some days I can't walk because my legs just won't allow me to walk. Um, and so back in 2024, July of 2024, I was hospitalized for congestive heart failure. And so it was in that moment that I felt like that I needed to uh, shed some weight. I was 351 pounds at that time. So I said, I don't know if this can be cured, but I can at least do what I can to be healthy, to start eating right, and different things like that. And so, hence my journey to losing weight. And then I had a lot of ongoing problems with a toe, um, and I've gotten cellulitis, and it just seemed like each toe, I just got something, kept bumping my toe, and I kept damaging it, and literally took almost a year for the first one to heal. So when I bumped my second toe by mistake, it was not good. It was a not. It was yeah. They wanted to amputate my toe. And so I was introduced to this doctor on Facebook who had reversed her lupus. And so in her group, you'll see literally hundreds of testimonials of how people reverse different diseases, um, all types of things. And so I looked up toe amputation to see if somebody had gone through what I supposedly am going to go through to see if they had any luck. And so I did find several um, people on our site that were in threat of losing a limb, and plant-based eating that really helped them. So I said, well, you know what? I can't go wrong. But let me back up. So this particular doctor, she reversed her lupus by plant-based eating. That is it. And so it has now been almost 20 years since she had lupus. And so she reversed it and she, um, made it a lifestyle. So now she's still disease free after almost 20 years. And so I said, well, you know what? If she can do it, I can too. And so when the issue of my toe came up, I wanted to go ahead and see what I could do. I saw other testimonies of people that had issues. One guy had literally had his surgery scheduled for his toe amputation. And his wife told the doctor, give me 2 months. And so he went plant based and he still has his toe. So I said, you know what? I'm going to do that too. And so starting after I came out of the hospital in August, starting in August, I said, well, you know what? Let's do this. And so I started, eating broccoli and salads and drinking my green smoothies every morning. and the weight started really peeling off. Now, I wasn't particularly trying to lose the weight, but I knew that the weight would come off by default, right? My thing was to get my toe back healthy so that I wouldn't lose it. And so I would say about 2 to 3 months. Last time I saw my podiatrist was I saw him in November of 2024, and he high fived me and he was like, "Go, girl." I said, "I told you I could do it. I told you I could do it." Because I was literally getting angry because, he, wanted to get the process started. And I'm like, no, mm-mm. If this can work for someone else, it can definitely work for me. So, with all of that being said, I want to continue on my journey to being a plant based, at least 80% plant based, um, to try and reverse my lupus. So I invite you to come along, like, share, subscribe, as I continue the journey to being healthy, to be made whole. Um, Thank you for coming and keep watching. I'll talk to you soon.